Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man Bad Chad, and Queen Jolene's on the camera, and we are on air. Today here in Canada, it's Remembrance Day, and I just want to take 10 seconds of silence to remember the following soldiers of our country. We at least need to show them that much respect in the video. I've already did my minutes respect. Here in Canada, we had the horns playing, that sort of stuff, which kind of makes you stop and think. People don't take much time to stop. Life is so busy right now, but let's just stop for 10 seconds and think about and thank the people that have fallen for what we have. Thank you very much. I think we all should appreciate it, and I feel like we all should know better than what's going on in the world today. We all should know better just by taking a minute and reflecting. All right, let's carry on. We're doing a 1935 Plymouth Dodge four-door, and we are turning it into a truck. There's been lots of designs come in, or not lots of designs, pictures that people have taken, a couple designs someone made. Awesome job, I gotta say that, awesome. There's also been someone say, can you put a panoramic window in the back of it? I could have, yes I could have, no doubt in my mind. But basically what's happening is I'm trying to stick with the material that I have. And I do have a panoramic window out there in an Oldsmobile, just never thought of it, that's all. But I'm trying to stick with the material of the four-door car itself to build what's going on. We have not used any other material other than we're going to use today. Today I'm going to attack this area. We've got a shape going in that doesn't look good, and we got some wings coming out here that also doesn't look good, and we're going to attack that part to make it go together. Yesterday, we put the back window in section in. Aiden and Abedin welded it up and did a fantastic job and ground it off, made it look good. After he was done welding it in, I come in on the back side, and I put in some square stock that went around and attached to the back window area, the roof area, and then I connected it to the post of the car to make it steady and strong. So now I can shake the whole car with the back of the window, and I couldn't do that before. I would rattle that window easy because it was just a piece of metal that's in there. But now, as you can see, as I grab that, I can shake the whole car so it's in there good and steady. But right now I have to, I'm going to try to bring the roof together. We got two wings coming up here that does not look good, and we have the top of the roof that we want to fill in to make it a complete cab. So when I come up here, I see that this line here is not going to match up with that line there. I have some extra metal up here I'm going to cut out of it. Jolene's going to do the best job she can to show you what I'm doing. So basically right this present moment, I'm going to cut some of the wings off. And what I mean by the wings is this excess metal right here. And so I can try to start doing something. I have if you want to come in the window, sweetheart, can you see from there? I have a piece over here that would be probably a construction for the roof liner or whatever it was for the car. There must have been a piece of wood or something went in there, a bow that went to the other side. I am going to connect some square stock from this side to that side. I'm going to put a little bit of shape in it. And then I'm going to bring a piece of metal from that square stock down to the window. And then we're going to try to make this look good, and we're going to make this look good. As I put the square stock in the back here, I put it halfway. So now when I go to add metal to do the back of the cab, I have something to lay it against and weld to. It's hard to just weld metal over top of metal if there's nothing in behind to really keep the construction of it. This is going to keep the construction up. Nothing's going to go anywhere. When I push on my third arm, try to make it tight and right, I have something that is going to keep it there. Also, it's just going to keep it there and make it steady and stay in place. So I'm going to use the grinder for a minute. I'm going to cut off some of the wings, not all the wings, some of it just right now, and then I'll attack more as I get going. But basically I want to cut a strip off of this here, get this ripped off. I want to get a strip ripped off here. It's just access metal. I'll get a piece of square stock, like I said, running across, and then we'll cut a piece of metal and start bringing it together to make it look like something. Anybody can do this. I'm going to try to show the whole step. We're going to try to do it within the 30 days. We're our fourth day. Fourth day, Remembrance Day. Is our fourth day, is it not? Alrighty, I'm just going to cut this off here. Getting some of the excess metal out of the way. Alrighty, I have this piece here. That's a good construction piece. It's welded in there nice. That one's welded in there nice. I'm going to measure across it and put a piece of square stock in there. Jolene looks amazing today. Little halter top on, little belly button showing. I'm not telling you what else is showing, but she's looking good. She's looking good. I have a measurement of 37 from going across, but I'm going to make it 38 probably, or 37 and a half. I'm going to make it 38 or maybe a little bit better. And the reason being is I'm going to put a little bit of shape in it, and I can always cut it off if it's too long. So I'm going to go 38 and a quarter just so I know I have enough length. And then we'll get a piece of square stock running across there. I'll go this way. I always go to this step first, is banging it on the floor to give me a little bit of shape. We've got a little bit of shape on the top of that back of that window, but the shape on the top of that back of that window has nothing to do with what we have to get going on to connect it together. We want to get too much. Basically, when I do that, I get a lot of shape in the center, but I want a little shape on the ends too. So I come over to my piece of wood, something that you would never think that you would use, but I use it all the time. Just try to even out the curve. So I got a nice little curve going on. Took me mere nothing. Bang on the floor, I hit with the hammer, and we got her. Alrighty, I want this square stock even with what's going on there with the roof, and I'm going to bring it down to these inner construction pieces that I have. I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to cut that off so I can get, there's a little bit of rope in there where I'm not sure. They must have had a wood roof liner in this bad boy, and I'm going to cut that little bit of rope out of there. I'm glad I made that piece long. Now it'll probably still fit. Crazy the materials that we used to use, or they used to use. Got to give it up to them, man. Got to give it up to them. Now that's not looking too. I just got to cut a little bit off, little tiny bit. Fit perfect. We're laying in there. We're a little heavy at the ends. And what I mean by a little heavy at the ends, we're a little taller than what we need to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shave a little bit of it off and leave it open. And then we can gradually get it back. Oh, knock that off. Sorry, sweetheart. My apologies. I'm still on air, am I? I'm still on air. Alrighty. So I'm using this piece here to run a piece of metal down to the back window and trying to fabricate something here to make it look right. Now I'm just going to actually knock it off the bottom. Excuse me, I was going to knock it off the top. I'm going to knock it off the bottom and then set it down on. So the distance that I have above, I'm going to knock it off the bottom and set it back down on. So I see what I got going on there. I'm just going to go like that and like that. Like that and like that. Let's do it. And when you're doing something like this, it's okay to change your mind at any time. I change my mind all the time. Obviously, if you watch what I do, I change my mind. If I think something's easier, if I think whatever, it's a good way to be. Actually, it means you're open-minded, and you can change at any time. And in life, you can change at any time. Ask me, I know. And we got, oh, not bad. I'll just hold it up a little bit when I weld it on. Hold that one up a little bit when I got going on. And we should have a nice cross member to start running a piece of metal to. Just looking across the front of the roof, to see if I got the same thing going on. I'll bring it up a little. I think I do. I think it's okay. Ever since we did the little, I don't know, the little talk there about the cab corners, I told Jolene about Milli Vanilli, and I woke up this morning and guess what song she was singing? Girl, I know. What's the song, baby? Girl, you know it's true. She was singing that song this morning, and I had to laugh to myself, and it was funny. Girl, you know it's true. Oh, 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 oh. Huh? Baby? She's a badass, boys. She's a badass. Basically what I did is I just bring it to the corner of this one here. Generally, I just kind of pick a spot where I'm going to put it, and you can do the exact same thing. On this side here, I would do the exact same thing. I would pick the corner of that little brace and weld it on over here, exact same spot. And that way there, I'm not fighting whether it's straight or right or tight or whatever. I've done the exact same thing on both sides, and I just go from there. Yeah, I'll weld a little bit underneath here. Come on, baby. One more weld on her. Make sure she stays. Alrighty, I'm saying that we have a good. Now I grabbed this piece from the metal down back, and it's just a piece that has a roll in it. I played with it a little bit, and I figure if this is the roll, or this is the bend that I need, this is the bend I'll make. And I'll make that on the roller. So this is what I'm thinking. We have the square stock going across here. Now we got somewhere to run the metal to. Also, when I do the roof, now I got a place, a skin to put it on, basically. So if I make a piece of metal that goes maybe across there like so, we'll make whatever it is. We got a 4-foot piece of metal there. So I'm going to make this roll all the way across, and we'll see how it makes out. On the ends, it's going to act funny because it's coming in and coming in on this end. So we're straight across the top, which is fine, but when it comes to the ends, that's when we're going to have to make it talk turkey. Where this is tucked in, this is giving us an illusion that it's supposed to do that, because it's not. We're basically we want to be working with this corner right here, because this is the corner of the cab of the truck. So this excess metal that's in here is probably going to get cut off to down here, about here basically where that metal is. That shape there is going in. We don't want that. We want the shape coming up and going up to here. So that's basically what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is something like that. And then we can fix this area here to match this and to match that. This is not me facing the arrows. It does not match. It does not belong. Let's make a 4-foot piece that goes across there and see what we can get. I'm going to measure that piece. That seemed to be a pretty good piece. Usually I would take a piece of tape. That's okay. Don't need a piece of tape to measure that. We're saying it's 11 inches. It's a gorgeous day here in Nova Scotia today, isn't it, baby? Absolutely gorgeous. And we have to thank our fallen for that we're even here. Gonna lay this down. So we're taking a 4-door car and turning it into a truck, and with the material that we have from the car to make the truck, which I think anybody else can do if they wanted to. Just have to go for it, basically. That's all I do is go for it. And I don't know before I go for it what I'm going to do, because obviously I change my mind all the time. And you see me change my mind all the time. So basically, you know that I do not know before I get into it the how to do it, but I just go for it, right? Once you cut it and you've got yourself in that mess, then you have to take and use that thing that's on the top of your shoulders, which is called your head, and then you try to figure it out. If something doesn't work, well, then you do something else. And basically, that's why I always say that we learn from our mistakes. I learn from what works and what doesn't work. Well, if that doesn't work, well, then I have to do something else to make it work. And that takes your time. When that's taking your time, that means you're keeping yourself busy and you're minding your own biz, and you have something to keep your brain on. All right, let's cut this bad boy. I generally would grab the plasma cutter and cut that off, but to get the air compressor and get all the tools going, I find it just sometimes just kind of, I'd rather just do it with the tools that I have. And basically you can do it with the tools you have because I'm showing you. Aiden did an awesome job yesterday with the zip cut, cutting the line. Fantastic. It takes time to get something cut straight with the zip cut. Not every day you just use the zip cut and get a straight line, but he did an awesome job. And also, this just shows there's different ways to do it. I can do it with a plasma cutter, I can do it with a zip cut. Doesn't make it right or wrong, just different ways. So, when you build your truck or your car, you do it your way, and that will make you happy. Because there's more than one way to skin a cat, obviously. I'm going to slide that in there. All I'm doing right now is trying to get a roll to put on the back to close that up. That sounded funny, didn't it, sweetheart? Huh? I just do it 4 rolls at a time, and that way there it kind of gives me Alrighty. Piece of tape underneath there. I'm hoping that'll give me the right bend or the right curve. That's what I'm looking down for. I got a piece of tape down there on that, just to say I might be able to get the right curve or the right bend on it. Don't want to go too far, don't want to go too much, don't want to do anything wrong. I just want enough. Alrighty. Alrighty. Not bad, not bad at all. This is where it gets icy and dicey, is over there. I'm going to cut this to length, and then I'm going to apply it to what I got going on. See, and I got a sort of a mess going on this area here. And what I'm thinking is, all right, let's get a measurement, and then we'll go from there. We'll tack it on, and then we'll start doing what we have to do. I like tacking things on what I'm doing. For me to try to make something that I can just come over and set it on there seems like an awesome thing to do. But in all honesty, for me to get up and down, up and down, up and down, I get up and down enough to make something. But to make something that I can just stick on there and weld on there, it just seems like a lot of extra work that I'm not interested in doing. Basically what I like to do is get this stuff in shape, tack it on, and then start working a little bit. Then I got something holding the piece of metal. It makes a difference. We've got a bit of lead. There's a bit of fixing going on earlier on this bad boy. There's a bit of fixing on this side, quite a bit of lead on this side earlier. So I'm going to have to deal with a little bit of lead. and that's fine. It is what it is. So I'm going to make a measurement. And I'm going to say 41 is going to be my measurement. And I'm measuring from this wing here to that wing there. And I'm going to say that I don't want it any further than there because I'm going to have to do something here on its own self. I'm going to bring that piece over, try to apply it to this piece, bring it down here, and then we'll make that piece after. It just seems like an easier thing to do than try to make that long piece there rolled and make that perform. So we'll just go from here over to there. We'll get it rolled down, get it tacked on the back of the window, get it looking right, and then that's an after. It's like the tail lights. It's an afterthought. It's an afterthought, isn't it, baby? It's an afterthought. Okay, so the measurement was 41, I'm pretty sure. We'll say, well, let's do 41. Yeah, we'll do pretty right on 40. I better make it a little bit long. We'll do 41 1/4. 41 1/4 because I just want a little bit of length. Not a whole bunch, but a little bit. Forty-one and a quarter. 41 1/4. Taking the I'm going to cut that off. Jolene's doing two things at once right now. She's amazing. The grinder on the back. I'm going to plug in the different grinder. The reason being is I want to get rid of some lead up there. So I got some lead in here in the corners. Just going to take it down. You can tell by the different colors what lead looks like compared to metal. Must where the car was put together. Jolene's going to take me to a basketball game tonight, aren't you, sweetheart? She's going to take me out to supper. She's going to buy me a Caesar or a pina colada and have something to eat, and then we'll go watch the basketball game. We have a university close by, 15 minutes away. I think Jolene went to that university for a little while. Played soccer there. My Jolene is a talented lady. And don't forget it. Because I don't. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share. See, every time I use that roller, I get a little bend there that I sort of don't like, but it is what it is. I'm going to clamp it up top here just to hold it in place for myself right at the present second. I've got enough for both ends. I've measured it. If I've done it right, I'm going to go halfway on this square stock. Maybe even better than halfway. Maybe even better than halfway. I'm gonna go over that way a little bit further. Watch yourself, sweetheart. Don't want to hit your toes. Got a little bit going on there. Leaves me a little bit to cut. You know, if I want to cut and butt, I can cut and butt it. That's basically probably the easiest way to cut it and then butt it up, like how I shrink things. It's the easiest way to get it to, for me, it's the easiest way. Up here where the square stock is, you really can form the metal. We only got it going this way, right? We only rolled it this way. But with that square stock going this way, I can get another shape out of it without even having to work it. And what I mean by have to work it, you know, I could take the English wheel and try to make another shape on it. But if you have something to clamp it to, you can make another shape with it too also. So we must realize, as I have it going like this, I also have it going like this because I've clamped it to the square stock, and the square stock is holding on for dear life. Alrighty. What I'm going to do is, this is really fitting nice and tight and right down here. I'm going to come down here with the welder and tack that on, and I'm going to make the shape of this metal here the shape of the roof, and then we'll deal with the corners after. So we'll get that down nice and tight there. I might even get it to come down a bit more because it's up there a little bit. We'll cut it together and then butt weld it there. We'll cut it there and butt weld it together there. That way there we can make the metal fit the best we can. All right, good. Let's turn the welder on. On the back part of the roof, we also will probably do that too. Looks good and straight going across there. I'm gonna just take a look. Looks good. So I got the, if I didn't put the square stock in the back, when I push this down on it, then I'd have this roof going all over the place, and I do not want that roof going all over the place. I want it to stay in place. We have got it in place now. We've got some structure to it. So, where I'm clamped down tight and right on the top, I'm going to nail it down with the welder. Why not? Yeah, I'm going to nail it down. Why not? No, I'm not. Center first, and then the outsides. Center first, and then the outsides. And the reason being for that is that if I started over here, and then I start welding it all the way over here, and then I get over here and I've got a hump or a bump, it's pretty hard to get rid of. If I start from the middle, then I can run it out and run it out. So any panel that you put on, you know, if you rule of thumb, start in the middle. Rule of thumb. I'm going to tack it right there because it fits tight. Also, I was explaining something to Aiden yesterday. As I weld this, like, I mean, as we welded this on here, if you're welding a piece of metal over top of another piece of metal, lapping it like cars do, you would weld this piece of metal, but you put a little bit more weld on this side of the metal instead of this side, on this side. So when you grind it off, you can feather it off a little bit. So it acts like it's not even, it's like almost, if you can imagine it, making a ramp to this metal. I know it's 18, this is 18 gauge, but when you go to grind that off and you've got most of the weld on top of this metal, you really got quite a ledge going on. But if you kind of weld the edge of this and weld a little bit down further, then you make a ramp for this metal to grind it off, and it looks much better. I probably will take the zip cut, because in all honesty, I'm going to zip cut this and then butt weld it together, because that's not going to look good inside the cab. If Jolene goes around the inside and looks inside the window, when you look in the corner, it looks good because we have really made it tight and right and made it look good. But where this does not fit in there, that wouldn't look so good in my eyes. But And you know what it is? Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. You know that, baby? Baby knows that. Yeah, I'm just going to do that for now. And reason being is because I can. All right. We're basically looking pretty good. Looking good. Alrighty. Now, I want to cut this. I'm going to cut this and bring this down a little bit because it's stuck up there. I want it down. I want it fitting the best it can. I need a... Let's turn that off for a second. Yeah, we ain't got much to deal with there. I want to get that down is what I want to do. That's going to be something quite hard to do, you know. We've got quite a bit of, we might have to come across here and shrink it to get it to go down there. Let's play with this one here. Let's play with this side here for a second. And then let's play with this side here. We got a hammer up here, I hope. Maybe not. Take this off. That's got to come back off. You can see that wanting to come down more. Is that pushing that out or just trying to feel for it? Just want to make sure that's down there tight and right. No harm, no foul. When you put something on and you tack it on, you have to knock it off. No harm, no foul. Or I don't think it is anyways. Just gonna get this down. I got this part fitting right, so I might as well go with it. I mean, it's tight and it's right. We're down on top of that. We're with that. Looks good. Beautiful. You are, Jolene. Beautiful. As I have that tightened down there, it's coming up. Don't know whether that's doing a good thing or kicking that out. Probably should take a where I'm going like this. I've got too much metal right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink that there. I'm going to push this down because I think that is the shape that I want right here. I'm not sure because I'm up here. But I want to get down, take a look. But I'm thinking I don't want to get that up any higher than what I got going on here. So I think I'm going to split that there, shove that down, get that down, and then I can shove this one down. I don't know how far I'm going to get it down. And then we'll have to check it out after that, I guess. I'm kind of wondering what... I'm thinking that that's going to push that up. I'm going to have to get down and up to check this thing out because I have to get down. I have to get down. I can knock that off at any time. That's no problem. I want to keep the center one on though, I think. Back to about there somewhere, I'm thinking, where I have to cut that. All right. Looking in here. Bless you, sweetheart. What am I seeing that's throwing me off? Oh, it's a shadow. It's touching the roof up there. See how easy that comes down now? I can push it with my hand. Push that one over top of it. And push this down, tack it on with this one. At any point in time, I can knock it off. Just remember that. You can see how the line's missing now, and the line is missing because I'm shrinking it. This is going over top of that, which is shrinking. Now I want to bring it in. There we go. That's what I'm looking for, is to bring it in with this level here. Now I can push that in there, and what I'll do is I'll keep taking metal out of this so I can get it in there. Then we'll replace that. Cross her over a little bit. Just kind of playing with it here for a minute. Any point in time I can knock it off. We're nice and tight down there. Now we've got too much metal up there, so I know that I have to shrink it. And by shrink it, so I got to cut it again. Because we're going on this playing field here, we're turning this piece of metal and we are shrinking it. That's what has to be done. We got a nice playing field going that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tack that together. I probably will cut it apart again. Just tacking it together so I can run the zip cut through the piece of metal at the same time. That way there I'm not messing anything up. Rip that bad boy off again. Let's get that sucker going good there. So you can see how I'm going to have to make a piece from probably right around here, right around up there, try to get that to look right. Now, do I want to take more? I think maybe I do. Just trying to, I think I want to take more, so I'm just going to tack weld it together again, and then I'm going to run the grinder through it again to take some more metal. So you can see it's overlapped again. Basically what I'm trying to do is get it to run around there. It doesn't look bad as I'm running around there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to put a piece in from here and try to make that look good. Basically, going to start up here because I can see the line. I'm going to run it through there and cut the excess off. might be able to, might be able to stick it together this time. Might be able to. Depends on. And if I stick it together and I don't like it, you unstick it and do it again. Kind of a heavy hammer. Heavy hammer. Come apart. That's okay. That's okay. I can get that right tight together again. Basically, I'm going to come down. That line, all the way to there, is tight together again. And I might even have to take a little bit more out of it. I think I'm going to leave that though. That's good there. You can see it peaked right there. Got to take some more out of it. Right tight together right there. I'm going to leave the tack weld there because I like it there. I'm going to take the tack weld there so when I butt weld it back together again, I know I've got penetration. Oh, a little softer hammer this time. No, I'm going to push it back together, spot it, see what it looks like. If I like it, I keep it. If I don't, I change it. It's come right tight back together so easy. It might need another slice, take more metal, just to shrink it a little bit more, that's all. It's tight all the way back. Take a little bit more metal out of it. If you want to come to here for a second, take a look. You can see how I've got a gap going on there where I run the zip cut through. Where it needs to be shrunk more, you can see where it's right tight back together again. So I run the zip cut through that again, and then I'll push it tight together again, you know, to take more metal out of it, basically. Push it back together again. So it's flush. Now let's beat this down a little bit. See if we can't get it. We are using 18 gauge. So we have a little bit of grinding that can happen. Just trying to get it together tight. Go down, take a look. I got it. It seems to me that piece there is going to go nice. But I'm gonna have to take probably over to here somewhere, probably, to get that. It seems lower in the center, and that's fine. That's fine, because we're doing what we have to do to get it done. It seems like, what can I say? I'm gonna leave that for a minute. I'm gonna leave that. Just gonna tack that back here so it don't take off or anything. I don't think it will. Let's make a little piece for this corner here. Try to get that done. Seems to be flatter here in the center than right there. See, we got a spot that's coming up. In order to get that out, I'm gonna have to run that back that far. But I'm liking this right here, so I'm gonna continue on with this, put this little piece in, just to show you what it's gonna look like. But I have to take more metal out of it. Okay, it's looking good from here. Good. From that angle there, that where I've sliced it, I'm going to have to slice it a little bit further over, closer almost to the middle, to bring that down some, and that's fine. But I'm going to make that corner piece. And you keep, like, basically you just keep shrinking it until you find where you like it. And that's the end of it. So I always go for my straight edge every time. I've said it before, but it's nice to have dirty hands when you're doing this. We have this piece here. There's my straight edge. I'm going to keep it right on there. Marker. I must have threw it away, did I? Or I put it in my pocket. Anyways, we'll go with that. Just going to trace out the line with the marker. Got a line going there. Yeah, it's looking good from this area. When you look at that area, it's still high on that end, and I do not want that. Dug that off again. I'm a bad actor today. Cut this. We'll try the piece of paper on before we transfer it to metal. See, that looks good. That looks good to me. That corner looks really good. I got a little high spot going on there, but that's just a matter of, I got a high spot going on right there. That's just a matter of transferring that shrinking method over a little bit further and then welding it shut and grinding it off. Where I butt welded it, or where I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, I'll be able to flush it off so you can't tell that it's ever been done. And that's the name of the game, is it not? I'm thinking it is. I got a little piece of metal up front here. Got a straight edge on that piece, and I'm going to go with my straight edge. Get my marker back. Put my marker in my pocket. Always go with your straight edge. That way there, it's one less cut. Excuse me, sweetheart. Got a shear over here. Flatten this sucker out. Where did I put them gloves? I want to put the gloves on right up there so I can bend this without cutting my hands. Oh, wrong way. It's metal, so I just bend it the other way. Just trying to weaken it up so I can bend it easier. Not really. I'm just going to do this for a second. See if I can get a little shape right there in that. Stretch it a little bit. I don't mind it like that, but I like to see it come over straighter. Thinking. I'm just going to cut it to fit it. And cut it all off. Zip cut. We're going to put that bad boy on there. I want a little shape in the center of this bad boy. Take that in my mouth so you can understand what I'm saying. A little shape in the center of it. Haven't got a sandbag? Grab a tire. Makes sense. Good. Awesome. I'm going to tack it on and then run a zip cut through it and put it on. Go this side, turn the welder on. Careful, sweetheart. Careful. trying to zip cut that out as I put it in. Now I will play around with that on the inside and the outside with a hammer and get that fitting the best I can. Get that all cut out. Just gonna tack it on there so I know it's on there. I'll get in here and see what I gotta cut. Alrighty, I need a new zip cut. Cut. We've gained a lot more room in this cab of this truck because of the fact of how the back window come out. What have I got in me arse? Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. This is all going to have to be cut out. You can see where it's spot welded. You can see where I got that piece of metal spot welded on the back of the window. So this is all going to be cut off so it doesn't look so bad on the inside. Looks so bad. To make it look better. So this piece here is going to be cut off when I do the zip cut across the back and chop that off for this piece. That's what's going to happen to that piece. All right, back to the outside. Back to the outside. Now I can push and prod. 18 gauge is what I'm using. So I feel like I will be able to grind it and hit it and play with it a little bit more than if I was using a lesser grit. Or not a lesser grit, a lesser thickness of metal. I'm using 18, so if I was using something thinner, I wouldn't feel more comfortable chopping it up and hitting it and grinding it. Got some lead. And we'll hold that down in there. And then we'll beat that corner out because it needs to come out. Tack it here. Nice. And beat some of that out, make it fit better, and some of it in. There we go. I think that'll come right out just like that. Look at that now, would you? I like it. I'm going to tack that because I like it. Got some lead there, gonna clean up and weld that back on. I can hammer this little spot out here. Beautiful. I'm liking it. I think it's going to be fine to go around the corner with that. I might knock this out, knock it out a little bit with the hammer as I'm welding it. That one just sort of let go. I got to take this down yet. That's going further across. I'm going to take that down right now. Ooh, we're feeling better now. And I might have to take it down even further, I'm not sure. But that's what I have to do, it's what I got to do, that's what I will do. Just a little bit more. And remember, I got two sides to play with, the inside and the outside, obviously. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. I'm going to end up shrinking. I know I'm going to have to shrink it right there to there anyway, so I'm going to have to go over there. And you can tell why I'm having to shrink it. Well, you can see, like I can't. I got that metal there, that metal there, that one up in the roof there is fine. But to get that down and get that going right across to the other side, I have to knock that off, get it knocked down. And basically what I'm doing is I'm cutting it here to get, taking the metal out of here to get that to go down to there. So we're going around and around this way, and I am using a shrink method that I use is by cutting and taking metal away. We haven't got no big giant tools here that's going to do it for me. So I'm just going to keep plugging away, just keep sawing that out until I get that down. So the center is the highest place. We want the center of that piece of metal to be the highest, basically. The corner went in nice, I think. You can see, like in here, like all this sort of stuff, all this stuff can be played with, and with the hammer on the inside and outside if I want to bang it out or want to bang it in. You can see it's had work there done before, got the bronze in it, had a little work done on the other side, but that's fine. That's basically what old cars are. If you come back and take a look at it, it's not looking bad with that down. It's looking good on this, I think. Once it's welded and ground and this is cut off, you'll never notice it. It's looking good. All right, everybody, thank you very much for coming and watching. I got to do the exact same process to the other side. And I will keep cutting metal out until I get it where I want to get it. That's basically what I'm telling you, or that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep shrinking this until I get to the center, to the highest spot. We have a piece of square stock running in the top of it, so now we can put a piece of metal from, we have a short piece of metal from the front to the back there for the square stock to fill the top of the cab in. We will run our zip cut across the back of this piece of metal here. We'll run our zip cut across the back of there because now we know that that's where that's going. We can get that piece cut off in the back, and then we can get that butt welded on like we've done the rest of it to make it look right. So this piece will end up coming out, and we'll have so you can see where they welded it together when it was done in there. It's not looking the best, but neither will ours when it's welded on the inside. It looks like poop, I find, generally. Alrighty, thanks everybody for coming back. We appreciate it. That's what I'm doing to the back of the cab to get it tied in, the roof tied in and get it finished. There's still a lot of work left to do to get, I still have molding or body trim to go around the back. Still have to make that. Have to make it go around the corners. It's going to be tricky. It's like Steve, what's his name? Steve Harvey said, he asked 100 men what rhymes with Ricky to get this truck done. You guessed it, tricky. That's what it's going to be. A little bit tricky, but we just keep plugging away each piece. Like when I'm putting this piece on, I knew this piece wasn't all going to fit perfectly when we first started it, but now that we've got it laid in there and we got things going on this side, now I have hope for this side. Anytime that you have a buckle or too much metal, go to the center of where you got too much metal, go to the center of it. When I push that down, I'm going to go to the center of that, and then I'll take out from the center, then I can overlap it and bring it together and just keep taking metal away until you get it laid down where you need it to be laid down. Alrighty, like, share, comment, come back. Thanks for coming back. Jolene looks amazing today, and I'm going to hang out with her all day. Come back tomorrow, we'll be here.